Welcome to GAC Podcast, that podcast show where we delve or we talk about all about farming. We talk about pigs, we talk about cattle, we talk about snails, we talk about rabbits. All you need to know about agriculture is discussed here. Today we are going to delve into profitable poultry farming world or venture and offer guidance for aspiring or beginners. I am your host, Aka Joshua Salvation, and today we are diving into the world of poultry farming. Specifically, we will be discussing how beginners can actually start a profitable poultry farm, and we're also going to be shedding light on the challenges that poultry farmers face and how you can navigate them. So, if you're considering venturing into poultry farming or simply want to learn more about the industry, you're in the right place. Sit, get that cup of tea, let it get hot, and we're starting in a minute. Poultry farming, whether for eggs or meat production, can be a lucrative venture for beginners. However, it's important to understand that there are challenges and issues that poultry farmers often encounter. So, here are some key factors to consider before starting or when starting your profitable poultry farm, and there are tips for navigating your way through. First of such is market research. You need to actually begin by conducting thorough market research to identify the demand for poultry products in your vicinity or area, and you can also determine if there are preference for eggs or broiler meats, that's chicken, or both. So if you have if you actually have an area where they actually have or they prefer more chickens, do broilers. If you have a place where they prefer more eggs, then you go for your pullets or layers. So these factors, considering factors such as your competition, pricing, and potential buyers, helps you understand the market dynamics more. Another is business planning. That's tip two. Business planning. You should develop a solid business plan that outlines your goals, financial projections, production targets, and marketing strategies. I think we discussed this even in the pig farming podcast episode last week, and we're going to still be touching it because I said every business requires it. So a well thought out business plan will help you guide, serve as that your compass or that your map that guides you to your decisions and keeps you focused on your objective for starting your business. Include contingencies for unforeseen circumstances and risk in your business plan. It's very important. And three, we have choosing poultry birds or breeds, that I discussed as well. So, selecting your poultry breeds that are well suited to your market demand, your climatic conditions, and your production goals is very important. So, let's assume that you are in a place where they want eggs, and you notice that this place is not the common local environment where you have people would ask for eggs, smaller eggs, because they can't purchase the bigger ones. Um, the people in this locality of yours now want those big eggs. They want the bigger ones, the jumbo sized eggs. What birds or what poultry or layer breed do you think is the best for you? So you can go more for the heavy breeds. You can go more for the heavy breeds. Those ones lay lesser eggs, fine. Lesser number of eggs, fine. But they actually give you that size. And with that size, you can also, the bigger the eggs, the more the money or the higher the cost. So you can actually do that as well. But if you're in a normal average environment where you have your regular buyers, that would you have variance in the egg size demand. You might actually have some that will say small, some that will say big. Go for your Hissa Brown. That's the light which consumes less feed and gives larger volume of eggs. So that is actually important for you to know what breed. Choosing your poultry breeds is actually very important. So research breeds that is known for their productivity, their disease resistance, and adaptability to your local conditions. That is also important. And you can consult experienced farmers, extensionists, extension officers, or agricultural specialists for recommendations on which breeds is well suited for your environment. Also, get to know your farmers that are in that environment well. They are even in the best position to tell you what works and what does not work. But as well, still have your veterinarian or your extension officers in place as well. So another tip is housing and infrastructure. It's important that you invest in suitable housing facilities for your birds. I tell you, I know what I'm talking about. Being in the poultry industry, not really as the owner, actually worked for someone for it, and I was there for I have about 3 years experience in poultry farming, constant experience for 3 years in poultry farming. So I can actually tell you that housing of your poultry birds, especially In every type, I've seen farmers lose thousands of birds because of inappropriate housing. I've seen farmers lose thousands of birds. I've seen farmers' eggs or production drop tremendously because of the housing. So housing and infrastructure, put a tick on that. If you really want to boost your production, put a tick on that housing and infrastructure. Invest in suitable housing facility for your poultry birds, please. Construct secure and well ventilated, mark that word, well ventilated housing that protects your birds from predators and adverse weather conditions, but gives them access to adequate space, proper lighting, and good ventilation, which are crucial for your birds' health and welfare. If you have actually experienced poultry farming before, you would agree with me that any slight deviation in the weather condition or environmental condition for your birds can drop their production if you're dealing with eggs. It has that power to drop their vegetation. And you start wondering, but I'm feeding these things well now. And you're looking at them, they're not sick. But that weather fluctuation, poultry farmers can actually attest to this, that most times when there is heat period, you actually, a lot of them start buying ice blocks because the production will start dropping. They are converting feed, fine, but they're using it to cool off their system instead of using it to give you eggs. So it's very, very crucial that your housing and infrastructure should be top notch. Some people have gone further to putting ACs, to having AC farms. If you know you can run it and you're running large quantities, it's fine. So for broilers, I've had to lose. Yeah, there were times we lost broilers due to heat. We had a time schedule that we go in to check them, and on that special day, it wasn't even up to that time, and before we got there, we lost a lot of them because the heat was much, and a lot of them were even they were panting about to die already. So if we hadn't gotten there at that time, we'd have lost more. Although we didn't lose excessively, but we lost. Losing 20, 25 birds due to heat is not a small thing. It's actually something that is really not something that is worth smiling about. Well, we're able to recover some of them. And the ones that were already sick, they were already stressed, were butchered, and we had others. We had other ways to also stabilize the health status of the ones that were alive already. So, but seriously, housing and infrastructure, I can't just stop emphasizing on that fact. Then feed and nutrition. Yes, develop a balanced and cost-effective feeding program. As we know, poultry feed is highly expensive. If you even are buying eggs these days, you're trying. If you're eating eggs, you're trying. If you're eating chicken, if you have money to eat chicken, you are no longer in the middle class. You're in the top class. Because chicken, poultry meats, and poultry products are highly expensive now. Highly expensive. So if you actually, for feed and nutrition, ensure to develop a balanced and cost-effective feeding program that will not put a hole in your pocket, alright? And that will also meet the nutritional requirements of your chosen poultry breed. So you can consult animal nutritionists or poultry specialists to formulate appropriate diets. You can go to your feed millers, reputable ones. I'm saying this now for this chicken. For pigs, they might not really be that reputable, but as long as they have knowledge, they'll do the piggery ones. But this one, for poultry, they have to be reputable. Yes, they have to be reputable feed millers before you can go there. Poultry is more delicate, so you have to take care in getting their feed from reputable feed millers. Consider using locally available feed ingredients. Yes, that's also very important. As time goes on, that will help you reduce your costs. Disease prevention and biosecurity measures should be implemented. So with this, you have to implement strict biosecurity measures to prevent and control diseases. Design protocols for quarantine, vaccination, and regular health checkups of your birds. Maintain proper hygiene. That is key. Maintain proper hygiene in your poultry housing, and control the entry of visitors to the minimum. If you're having 10 people entering before, control it. If you have one, that is enough. If you can't even, if you prevent people from even entering your poultry farm, except your veterinarians, if you prevent people from entering your poultry farm, that is in fact, it's the number one thing that would guarantee that the health of the birds are safe. Because diseases, virus, bacteria that come in with people into the farm are numerous, and you can't see these things. They are microbial, and once they come in, they drop. Your birds pick it up, and before you know it, they fall sick, and you don't know where those people have been to. Some of them might have been to other farms. So it's very important. Your feed dip must be there. Your what else? Your disinfectant must be in that food dip. If you have irregular wear that is always disinfected, so whenever anybody comes, they don't enter the farm with their bare wares. They have to wear that coat that is already disinfected, or better still, they will be disinfected before getting into your pen with a spray. That is also very important. You can never be too careful when it comes to poultry. You can never be too careful. So the more careful you are, the better for you to help minimize disease risk. Number 7 is marketing and sales. Establish connections with potential buyers, such as your local supermarket, restaurants, and individuals interested in purchasing poultry products. You can promote your farm through social media, online platforms, run ads, reach out to groups, and as well. But the most important is make sure your products are of quality and maintain reliable supply. Not when you are being asked to supply today, you are supplying next week. You are being asked to supply tomorrow. If you know the number of customers you can cater for, comfortably cater for them. Don't overload yourselves because you want to get customers and you end up dissatisfying them. When you need them, you might not really get them again because obviously when you're unreliable, other people's business will suffer for it and nobody wants their business to suffer. So they will leave you when you're unreliable. So it's best to also build good relationship with your customers. That is also very paramount. Number 8, we have financial management. Keep detailed records of your expenses, your income, your production data, all very important. Monitor your costs, your feed expenses, the labor costs, and veterinary services. Those costs should be all included in your financial reports. So regularly assess your profitability and identify areas where you can increase or optimize production and make your production more efficient to reduce expenses. Number 9, we have continuous learning and networking. Yes, I said it. Every farmer in every subsector of agriculture, you will obviously need to continue learning because every minute new trends come out. So it's best to stay informed with the latest industry trends, farming techniques, research findings, attend different workshops, join associations, connect with other poultry farmers, learn from experience of individuals and that share their knowledge, and also share knowledge within your farming community. It's invaluable. It's invaluable. Very important. It's important to actually note that poultry farming comes with its share of challenges, such as we have disease outbreak. I said that before. Market fluctuations. Yes, just as few months back now, we've been having egg gluts where farmers have to bury eggs. Lots of them. That is so disheartening. And thanks to some governments of states that have decided to actually purchase, but still a lot of farmers are still suffering from it. So rising input costs. They are just a few of the challenges you're going to be having. Yes, you may actually face. If you're in Nigeria, you would have them. All you just have to do is be ready to actually face this. It's not impossible to handle. Several farmers have made a lot. All right, they've made a lot. What makes you a great farmer is your ability to bounce back after a phase. All right, after the industry punches you, you're able to bounce back and still remain resilient. Okay. So being prepared or be prepared, be resilient and adaptable. They are key attributes for success in poultry industry. As a beginner, it's recommended that you start small. If you're able to manage 10 flock this month, there is every assurance that you're able to manage 50 next month because you know the stress involved in managing 10 and you're able to multiply that. But if you just start and you've not managed 100 and you're putting 5,000, to manage that 5,000 might be really difficult for you, even if you get hands. But as long as you're the one who has the idea of it, it's going to be really difficult for you to manage. So start small. That's one thing I always tell farmers. And gradually you scale up. And as you gain experience and knowledge, it's very easy for you to handle bigger flocks. So that will allow you to learn from your initial mistakes, refine your management practices, and assess the market response for your product or to your product. Remember, poultry farming requires consistent dedication. Attention to detail is paramount, and genuine concern for the welfare of your birds is also very important. So you need to prioritize the health of your birds and their well-being and ensure that their housing and feeding conditions meet these specific requirements. That's all I will have to say for today's episode. So if you're listening, I know very much that you've actually gotten value from this level of knowledge that I'm able to drop here. No knowledge is a waste, yes. So the knowledge I've acquired from my years of experience in agriculture is what I'm shipping in here for you to actually benefit from. So I hope you found this introduction to profitable poultry farming very informative and very educative and inspiring. Do not forget to hit on that subscribe button, hit on the notification bell, and comment on what you love most about this episode. Yeah, poultry farming can be very rewarding and profitable venture for you as a beginner or for all beginners, provided that you approach it with thorough planning, perseverance, and passion for agriculture. Thank you so much for listening. Join us next time as we explore more exciting ventures in the world of agriculture and farming. Until then, dream big and keep dreaming big. Farm smart, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.